to round number 1. We are on the play here. This is definitely a keep. We'll be keeping that, and our opponent has 2 ley lines. So Bogles, I guess, is my best guess. I'm just now having the realization that I didn't fix my basic lands, so now we'll have just ugly basics for the time being. That's something we can live with, I think. Let's go back to our deck list here as well. Yeah, hopefully they match if we're lucky. Ooh, they might. Nope, not quite. Almost, but not quite. All right, back to the game. Okay, I think I just want to use my mana efficiently here and play Ravager. Suppose play this first. So it'll probably be difficult for my opponent to get an attack in here, since I could make this thing a 6/6. We'll see. I guess Ethereal Armor with those 2 ley lines is going to make it pretty enormous already. We have +4/+4. Okay, no, just a Hyena Umbra. I'm pretty sure I just eat both of these things and block. I mean, we only get the Umbra, but I don't really need that Darksteel Citadel or Welding Jar here, so I think I'm perfectly content to do that. Did I actually have a kill? Interesting. There's no way, right? 2, 4, 8. I could have, if I hadn't eaten my Darksteel Citadel, would have had 3 lands to work with. I could have played both of these. This is worth an additional 4 damage, and this is worth an additional 4 damage, I guess. Because it comes in with 2 counters, is modular, and would give another 2. So I would have actually had the kill. Wow. All right, well, that's my mistake, I suppose. Now that I have done that, what can we do now? I guess I just play Ravager. But that's interesting. Wow. I mean, I'm probably still in a pretty favorable spot here, but Daybreak Coronet Plus is a very real possibility that could be incredibly painful. All right, well, we still got there. I'm going to have to be a lot more careful. I just got so excited about getting my free block on, but yeah, I actually would have had lethal there. That's pretty insane. Okay, against Bogles, I think we're just going to want all of these. I mean, I don't want to overboard, but hey, you know what? We need to get these done, I think. Being able to hit those enchantments to make Daybreak Coronets less good is really important. Don't think I care about anything like this. In fact, I'm pretty sure we take this one out. Pithing Needle. Not really interested in Dismember just for Spirit Dancer. Damping Sphere is not interesting to me. And Surgical is not something we want. So we're really only going to be bringing these in. I think I bring out some of the Proliferate stuff. Apostle's Blessing is interesting. I mean, I guess the Proliferate stuff is kind of like having extra copies of Hardened Scales in a way, like if you don't draw Hardened Scales, it can be harder to go big, obviously. If you have Hardened Scales, it's more than you need. I think I will still take out the Thrones. Hangerback Walkers can be quite good here, but I think I cut Ballistas. They might leave in some number of ley lines, and I'm rarely going to be targeting any creatures with it. Welding jars could also get cut in some number. I mean, 0 density, I'm sure, matters a lot to me for stuff like early opals. I think I might just do it this way. Maybe cutting 1 jar. I guess I'll cut 1 jar. 1 jar, 1 ballista. And maybe it should just be 2 ballista, though. I could certainly be wrong. This hand looks pretty unexciting, but I do have Claim. I still think it's a mulligan. I have 5 of that effect in my deck right now. This deck, or this hand, isn't doing anything exciting. I certainly want to be aggressive in this matchup and have large creatures relatively early. This hand, while it does have Hardened Scales, has some other issues. Yeah, I can't keep this. I mean, like, too many things have to go right, unfortunately. If this was like a welding jar instead of another opal, maybe, but probably still not, honestly, right? Probably not. Anyway, I gotta ship it, I think, from here. This I will definitely keep. Gonna bottom that. Need to find some ways to actually abuse this Hardened Scales so that I can get out there. Yeah, I guess I just go ahead and play the Sparring Construct, particularly because it's not like one of the modular creatures, right? Now that I've drawn this, if this was the modular 1 guy, I could play Hardened Scales first instead of using this to turn on my opal, but again, because it's Sparring Construct, this doesn't hurt me at all. So now we just need to find a way to abuse the scales before our opponent steamrolls us with their giant creature. All right, it's fine. So we'll play this, play this. I think I'm holding back Sparring Construct, but maybe I'm supposed to just attack with that. I don't know what my opponent would do that would make me regret that. So I think I'm just trying to put counters on this Blink Moth Nexus. Or excuse me, Ink Moth Nexus. Misspoke there. All right, I think I just make this block. I guess either way it's getting 2 counters, right? So, or no, this adds another counter. Wait, that means I did my math wrong last time. My modular math. So I had even more than enough. You guys were probably yelling at your screens. I did my modular math wrong in the first game. Okay, well, now that we've done that, yeah, this would put 3 counters on this. This would put 2 counters. Yeah, so I just want to do it this way. Sorry. Make sure we animate our guy in time here. I wonder if I still, I'll have to go back and check. I wonder if I still had a kill even with the block I shouldn't have made. Since I did my modular math wrong and didn't add a counter in the interim there. No. All right. So now I don't really have anything going on for me. All right. That's definitely not bad. Get 3 counters on this ballista. Not sure about this attack. I'm supposed to hold this back. It's not worth the 1 damage. I want, if my opponent plays another enchantment on this, which, you know, not terribly unlikely, I would much rather have this back to block first so that we could put counters on this. I mean, if my opponent has another path, that'll be a pain for us. Yeah, all right. Well, could have got in for 1 damage again then. The old no attack, no block twice in a row. It's not, doesn't feel great, but all right, that's a little late, unfortunately. So I think I'm attacking this time, like I probably should have. Stony Silence, yeah. Yep, I mean, we have the 5 answers. I don't think it's worth the attack here. My opponent could easily grow this to a lethal size, and if they aren't able to give it trample, I want to be able to chomp. Okay, well, I guess that dream is dead. I think that probably means I'm dead. I guess I could draw Natural State into something, but then I would have to use the Natural State on the Spirit Mantle, and yeah, it doesn't really put us in a great spot to actually win the game. I don't know if there's even a series of draws at that stage. And I think this means I'm dead. Yeah, okay. All right. Well, interesting. I'll have to be more careful about... I mean, obviously that game we didn't really make that modular math error, but I'll have to be more careful about my modular math with Hardened Scales as we progress. It's good to note that that was an area where I think, you know, I made that mental math error, and I want to make sure we don't continue to do that. So it's just something I'm going to have to pay more attention to in the future. Okay, game 3, I think I want to run it the same way, still considering this 3rd welding jar. Obviously, again, there's nothing against path, but helps me get my opals online earlier. I think I'd rather just have the 3rd ballista, particularly because, like, I still think Hangerback's better than ballista. I think it makes sense to shave on ballista here. I'd rather have my lower to the ground stuff. It's possible I'm supposed to shave another jar. You know what? I think I will do it this way. Like, my opponent's not very likely. Like, I still think I'm going to get reasonable value out of these. My opponent's not very likely to have Leyline post board, I think. Unless they truly don't have a lot of good ones, but they probably sided in quad path if they weren't playing any mains, so that would, or 3 path, something like that. That would give them a lot of ley lines to take out if they didn't have anything else. I think this is a keep. Obviously, we do need a 2nd land, but it's got everything we want otherwise. We got a way to blow up an enchantment, we've got Hardened Scales, and we've got ways to abuse it. So I'm definitely going to keep. Hopefully we can find a 2nd land. Let's get this thing going. It's unfortunate that its only land is a Horizon Canopy as well. Like, I'm going to be taking a lot of damage in the interim, but... Dryad Arbor. Drawing an Nature's Claim is fine. Again, would prefer land, but it does do some work there. If we're going to draw non-land, that's probably fine. Okay. All right. Man, that would be great to kill this. If only this didn't say 1 or more, right? It'd be sweet to cast this for 0 and get 1 counter. All right. I don't think there's a reason to blow this up now. I think I want to leave this on defense. So we will stick with this. I mean, it's a good thing I can't cast this on 0 and have it come on 1 counter, but that would be sweet right here. That would be sweet right here. Oh no. They're really about to go off. Yep. All right, well, I think we might have missed a land for a little bit too long here, but we'll see what we can do. Yeah, all right, that's probably going to be the game, unfortunately. So, I guess I Nature's Claim this Rancor. I mean, obviously they get the Rancor back, but that's no real concern when they're chaining through everything anyway. At least then they won't get to the Daybreak Hornet. It's better. I mean, they get to draw another card, but I think it's still better than hitting the Coronet itself. So, I will do it this way. Too bad it's not when it enters. Then they wouldn't get to draw a card off of it. But yeah, then the Rancor comes down again, so I let them draw an extra card, but I think it's still better than hitting the Coronet, assuming they had other ways to draw cards. I do not block yet, preferably. It would be best to wait, I think. And even if I draw the land here, which we do, I think my opponent on 4 mana, probably 5 mana, is going to easily be able to make this trampling Spirit Dancer enough to 11 me. We would much rather play Overseer, I think, if we have any hope of living through the next turn. I mean, if we assume my opponent's hand is bad, that's the only way we're still playing this game, then I'd rather play the Overseer, right? I mean, I guess I could play Ballista right now so that I could kill the Dryad Arbor so they had less mana to work with, particularly because they also have a Canopy. Maybe that's the best thing I can do, but I think we just are so far behind that I have to pretend that my opponent's cards are all bad, the cards they're going to draw are bad, and then on top of that, we're going to have enough time to go over the top of them. And this is the only way we're really going to be able to do that. Yeah, of course. Their cards are not bad. In fact, they have Daybreak Coronet. And we are going to take 1,000,000. Yeah, okay. Well, that should just about lock everything up then. I have to block or I can't. Well, I guess. Oh, wait, no, I have to block. Yeah. Guess I'd rather block this since this is trample. And we are dead. All right, well, I'll see you in just a moment for round number 2.